Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. So I'm starting off with my basic bodice pattern. What I'm going to do is just to adjust it just a little bit. I'll increase the neckline by 1 inch each. You know, when I did basic bodice pattern, it was more like 3 inches by 3 inches. So now it's like 4 inches by 4 inches. So this is going to be like a sleeveless gown. I'm going to use 2 inches for the shoulder, from the neck to the shoulder, and I'm going to connect it to the armhole measurement. I'm also going to repeat the same thing for the back pattern. Now the major difference from the front and the back is that I'll be closing the bust dart for the front pattern, and in order to do that I have to open up the waist dart before I'll be able to close the bust dart. Now that you have it, your front and back pattern is ready. Now what I'm doing is just to cut it out. I added ½ an inch on the neckline and on the armhole, and then I added 1 inch on the side seam. So I did the same for the back pattern, and I added the zipper allowance, and that was it. So I'm going to explain with this paper, because the cloth was too long for the whole camera to get it. So I'm going to use this. So now we have this whole fabric. We're going to fold it this way into 2 and then make it come like a triangle. 1 and then 2. And then I divided the waist by 3.14 because I want to gather it a bit, or just pleat it just a little bit, and I added some inches to the waist as well. So after doing this, you're going to get your measurements, and then you're going to do it this way. And then you're going to take the length of your fabric and measure it in circles this way. Afterwards, and then this is what you have. I'm just showing you what I did with the fabric. I'm measuring it to see how much I have. I have more than enough, so now I can actually just plait whatever I want to plait it. So I noticed that it is just a little bit transparent, and I would want to adjust. I want to add this lining. This is called suit lining. This is called suit lining. So I want to add this lining. It's not going to be all the way long, it's just going to be short to cover, you know, some parts down. But I'm going to add this to the top part. So yeah, I have cut out all the parts I need, all the pieces I need. So now to the sewing machine. I have gone ahead to sew all my darts, my waist darts, and yeah, the front and the back, and then I joined the neck of the lining to the main fabric. So now like what my mentor taught me, we have to like top stitch on the lining so it sits flat. It doesn't like puffs up when you wear it, so it sits totally flat, and I've been really enjoying it lately. So you have to do that for the front and also repeat it for the back as well, and the armhole. We are going to repeat exactly what we did for the neckline for the armhole, since we are not adding any sort of sleeves. Now this is what I have. I would have ironed it, but there was no power, so I couldn't iron. So if you can, please iron. It saves you a lot of time, and it's so sweet when you iron and sew at the same time. Like you sew and then you iron, and then you sew and then you iron again. It's a lot of work, yeah, but it saves you so much, and it's always so nice when you're done. Now you're going to add your down part to your top part. Please make sure that your top part is like properly laid, so there's not like ruffles when you finish joining it, because it happened to me, and then I had to like adjust it when I figured out that it had a little bit of ruffles and it wasn't laying all flat, so you have to do that. So I just pinned it and then I placed it on my mannequin to see how it looks, and it looked. At this point I already joined the down part to the top part, and I ended up adding slits to it because my client said she wanted slits. Well, I know you're going to say I should have just checked and make sure everything was fine before I finished everything, but I didn't really check. I just thought everything was okay. But when I finished it up, it had like ruffles on the top part, which I didn't like, and it will save you a lot if you just cross check, so you don't have to like start losing everything again and then ripping everything. To be very, very hectic. So just make sure you cross check and make sure it's fine. You know what I'm doing here is sewing the slit down to make sure it stays in place, and then I'll finish it up by putting my lining for the down part. Also cross check your measurements. You do not want to lose it. I'm telling you. My lining was like 30 inches, so now I had to reduce it a little bit because of my slit. Well, what I would have done was to add it before even attaching my lining, my upper part to my lower part, and then it won't really have been an issue because I would have sewn the slit down to keep it in place. But well, I didn't really think about that, so yeah. If you're not adding any slits, then you have no problem, and if your fabric is not as transparent, you have no problem at all. So you just go ahead and do you. So the way I'm adding this lining, it's just to make it look neater than it already is, so it looks so much better. And that's why I'm adding the lining this way, and just watch whatever I'm doing in the video and apply it to what you're doing as well. What I'm doing in the video is just to pleat it, and then I'll sew it, then turn it over. This is what you have when you finish sewing it and then turning it over. I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and then sew it, then I'll come back to show you what to do next. This is what we have now. What is left for us to do is to sew the zipper, and then we are done with our gown. Yay! After you're done sewing the zipper, then you can go ahead and finish off the hem whichever way you want to, either by weaving it or by using the bias tape to finish it up, and then you're done. So there you have it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe, and remember, stay beautiful. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.